We start with something that seems to happen all the time in the National Basketball Association. That is James Harden putting on his sneakers and then getting a triple-double in a Brooklyn Nets win. He, with LeBron out, with Joel Embiid out, with what he did in Houston, the way he got himself out of there in preseason and those 8 games, can you vote for James Harden as MVP this season? I know you have a vote. Can you do it?
Can I? Yes. And I'm considering doing so with the way he's been performing, David Jacoby, since he's been a member of the Nets. The pace, the efficiency, the effectiveness. Yeah, you're stuffing the stat sheet, but you're doing it while winning, playing most of the games without Kevin Durant. And it's important for James, if he's ever going to win MVP as a member of the Brooklyn Nets, to do it this year. You know why? Because whenever KD's playing, he's the MVP of the Nets. So that's why James is saying it into microphones, and he's performing like it out on the floor.
Because I can understand why someone wouldn't vote for him, especially about a few weeks ago when they look at what happened in Houston. It was kind of ugly at the end there in Houston. He didn't look great. He wasn't trying his hardest. But as that gets further and further and further in the review mirror, it's only 8 games out of 72. And if he keeps doing this, I could easily see him coming home with the MVP. And do you remember where this all started? It all started at Lil Baby's birthday party. And guess what happened last night? They reunited after the game. Lil Baby and James Harden just reminiscing about the birthday party and the little tour they went on around the United States while he was supposed to be at training camp. Well, he wasn't the only ex-Oklahoma City Thunder that had a huge triple-double last night. Russell Westbrook did the same, except he upped the ante. He finished with a wild stat line. Jalen Rose, over 30 points, over 10 rebounds, over 20 assists. No one's done it since Magic Johnson. Is Russell Westbrook overlooked and disrespected by the media and fans?
He's disrespected, absolutely. And it's been that way basically his entire career. When he was shining with OKC, we blamed him for getting in Kevin Durant's way. Who is this guy that has the nerve to be taking as many or more shots than Kevin Durant? Get out of the way and give KD the ball. And then all of a sudden, I look at the stat sheet, they both have 30. They both have 40. And there was a time one of them had 50 and the other one had 40. And then KD left. And then Russell averaged a triple-double and won MVP. And then over the last couple of years, he's played for a couple of teams. And usually you don't see MVPs play for multiple teams in consecutive seasons. So when he was healthy in Houston, playing small ball, he was still putting up big numbers. He got injured, played hurt, and I told you at the beginning of the year, I saw an interview where he said he's basically felt like he's playing on one leg. Here's what makes Russell polarizing. He's that guy that you say all of the cliches for, that you want to go hard all of the time. You don't want fraternizing with the opponent, and you want to compete on every possession like it's his last. Usually that's not the point guard though, or the primary ball handler. Usually that's a wing or that's a big, but he has that mentality. So the first 2 minutes of the game or the final 2 minutes of the game, it seems like Russell is playing like they're not keeping score because he's gonna attack the exact same way. And that's what makes him polarizing to so many people, but he's still a top 15 player in the game, and I'm glad he's still putting up big time numbers.
I also think that there's something about Russell Westbrook and Dame that's just not cuddly and friendly the way Steph is. Like, he's not smiling, and he's not showing off his family and doing all the Instagram videos. Like, he plays with a scowl, and I think some people don't love that, but I do. And like you said, he brings it every single night. He has one speed. It's 1,000,000 miles an hour. And one thing to point out about the trajectory of his career that you so astutely put together, when he was with KD, he got criticized. KD leaves, he was a one-man band, MVP. Then he goes and joins James Harden, doesn't really fit, gets criticized. Last night, Bradley Beal's not in the game. He just feels comfortable when he doesn't feel like there's another star next to him that he needs to work the ball to. He can just go, like I said, 100 miles an hour and get another triple-double. What an impressive performance from him.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.